And we are live, putting in the Hue here on Scrim Zone. And so it looks like the draft is getting kicked off. Sorry about the delay. And it looks like that so far we have a Twitch, Silas, Amumu. Nothing too special. Looks like the Amumu and Silas taken together to prevent any sort of shenanigans with the Silas stealing away the Amumu. But nothing going on so far. It looks like that Snarkify is going to be picking up a Yumi, I believe, here on the blue side for their fourth pick. Should be quite interesting to see. That's going to be paired with the Lucian in the bot lane. Going to be facing off against a Twitch and Nami. So maybe not so much action. It looks like Vi maybe here to round out the draft for a Snarkify Rebellion. While Metabusters has probably looking to angle here for an interesting top counter. They might just they could actually just put the Silas top against the Malphite, but maybe you have to see what they're going to do. Looks like actually they're going to go for the Pantheon in the jungle instead, giving that extra mobility along with that being able to make playmaking in the side lane. So it should be quite interesting to see how that turns out. Nothing really happening yet. Looks like Scion answering to the Malphite, so just match tank for tank. However, you do have that snap engage on the side of Snarkify Rebellion coming in with the Malphite and the Pantheon as well. And it should be interesting to see how this plays out. The draft is complete, and we might be loading into games soon. Might be a bit bugged for Snow here. I'm not sure why he's not showing up on our thing so far, but we should be getting him somewhat soon. Or hopefully soon at least. Sandy, new face to Scrim Zone, but should be interesting to see how it plays out with him. And we have Vetus here, who has just very strong win rate. A lot of the hyper carry champions. This guy loves to carry his team to victory, from what we can tell. Another key player to look at here would be Fujer on the side of Metabusters. And looks like he's going to be, interestingly enough, being flexed into the top role in this game. And if I'm not mistaken, normally he does play mid lane, but however, it looks like for this game he is going to be going into the top lane. So this should be interesting to see. Interestingly enough, another important facet of this game I think to really focus on would be the bot side, especially on the side of Snarkify, like they are like running like a much more. Some could call it like passive, but I think that with like the Lucian and Yumi, you can like be like a bit more aggressive, even if it is a Nami lane, and it should be interesting to see how it goes. I do think on the side of meta busters though for this game, you're gonna really have to be careful about any sort of side lane pressure, especially coming out from the Pantheon. You can rise portal as well, um, so definitely should be interesting to see like how like either the Scion and or Sylas could play like the side lane. Another thing I think important about this game is the fact that the Sylas will be able to start stealing the Malphite ult, so Malphite could be like just as a powerful tool as it is for Snarkify. It can be just as powerful tool for the side of Meta Busters. So it is going to be interesting to see how this all plays out in the end. Hopefully soon we can be getting into game. looks like we are going to be getting into game here. Nothing interesting so far, it looks like.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Looks like if anything, we're just going to be, might be having a slow-paced game. Nothing too interesting happening.
Minions have spawned.
Looks like for this game, Vetus is going to be opting into the cleanse here. That should be an interesting choice. But we will see like how that ends up playing out in the end. Nothing happening here yet. Let me go ahead and fix that real quickly.
I have the best aim in the spirit realm.
There we go. Should be a bit more better on the side of the camera. Alright. Looks like we can have our attention here on bot lane specifically. As gonna get that level 2 priority down here in the bot lane for Vetus and Lelouch. Still really happening.
Cut him out.
Level 2 secured on the side of Metabus, so that should be quite preferable for Caffey and Tuna. And looks like Sandy looks a little tied away from that. That's nothing really happens there for Snow. On the top side, nothing really going on. I think that for these comps specifically, it is going to be just a battle of ultimates. It's going to be this Amumu ult, this Malphite ult, any of the main ultimates should end up working out in the any of the big ultimates should work out in the end. So we'll see how that ends up playing out in the grand scheme of things. But
Of the dying.
looks like just slow trades in between the lanes.
It's me.
But nothing really going on yet. As Sandy getting low on mana here. Decent trade here out from Snow. Gonna be popping that electricity right into the rise. Just really, steady game so far. Nothing too exciting happening. Some short trades. And it looks like Hero might be looking for a gank here down in the bot side. Doesn't really get spotted out, however, by the ward and the tri-bush. So he's not going to be able to really do anything regarding that. We do see him now, so we'll see how he decides to play. It looks like he's going to be ganking on the mid lane on the Snow. Silas is going to be able to heal up, and in comes the Amumu, and just a really good response. Really nice flash bandit toss to like stun the Pantheon up and take him down. It's going to be a kill going over to the side of Metabus. Trade kick coming down to the bot side. Yeah, he's getting a bit low, but nothing really happening yet. Trading here mid lane. But Silas still has flash, but he's just going to get flashed on. It's going to be a solo kill for Sandy. And not really what you're going to want to see, as they just did a pretty good trade, killing like the jungler. Yes, Snow got a bit low, but he still should continue to trade, but he didn't really respect the rise damage in the end, and he got punished for it. Pressure coming out from the bot side. So he just does get hit by that bubble, but he's going to get out. It's also coming out from the side of Lelouch. As it's still really happening in this game, other than that, trade of kills mid lane. Dragon is up on the map, so it's going to be interesting to see what side decides to opt in to start taking the dragon. Hero is gonna get spotted out on his raptors. Not really do anything yet. Looks really hard to position for these dragon as it looks like they're gonna go right onto Sandy. He does have the rise tool to get out. Vader's cost comes out. Sandy's gonna get caught out by it, and he has no flash, so probably just another Silas E or Silas Q, I guess. Hits him right in the head with it, and yeah, gonna be Snow picking up another kill. As feels like that slowly and surely the tide of mid lane starting to shift a bit. Hero, as well as Wolf, break. Looks like they will take down the Amumu. Maybe looking for the Silas here. Snow does have the calling, could choose to use it, opts into it. Twitch comes from behind, and it looks like Venus is going to be going down, and Hero's going to be going down as well. And hopefully the cat can get out, but I'm not even sure about that. As another chain connects off the side of Snow. That was exceptional. And yeah, I mean, it's just looking really rough in this early game for the side of Snarkify. I mean, there's not much that looks like that they can do specifically, but it should be fine in the end. And, you know, just a trade of grass over here on the top side, but as you know, the Malphite doesn't really have that. Yeah, now I guess like in this game specifically, now you got a Twitch with 2 kills, and it's like Fucha has put off what he can chew. Malphite also make sure that he has to cancel his unstoppable force, and it looks like Fucha might be going down. Flashes over the wall. Looks like a Hero flashes to follow, but I'm not sure if the spear can connect. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. And yeah, he's just out of there. That's gonna be Hero's flash burned. Traded with Fucha's flash, but Fucha ends up living, so I would say we're on the side of Metabusters. As now we got a Drake start here. And this should be the first dragon of the game, going right over to Metabusters.
Let me give you a hug.
Man, oh man. It's quite not what you want to see at the start of the game. Oh, it's a trade coming out to the wrong side. And poison, not quite enough, but looks like they are going to be pushing Vetus out this top side, possibly. Hero could be looking for a Pantheon ult on the box side. Looks like he's just trying to finish his red first before he does anything specifically. As game might not look so solid in a bit. Some minions being picked up here. Side of Snarkify. Looks like Vetus is going to be opting into Essence Reaver Lucian build, which is pretty good fight meta, so should be interesting to see how that pans out for him. And man, I really like, I mean, this early game is just, you know, so far it's like this is really not gone the way of Snarkify, so I'm just kind of wondering like whether or not they're going to go the Storm, and I'm not sure if these fights are going to get any easier, you know, as they decide to take that Malphite ult later on in those fights, as well as the Twitch, like, you know, like even though like, Lucian is a really strong champion, do you think Twitch probably does like outscale him to quite some degree? So it should be interesting to see how these later fights start to play out. I mean, a bright spot on the side of Snarkify is the fact that they are gonna have, like, you know, some of that very strong like Rise like team fight. Colleagues been coming out here from this. Pantheon ult's been coming out as well. Oh, the Q from Pantheon ult misses. He just flashes for it. Looks like Sandy's going to be picking up the kill onto Tuna. Q's going to connect onto Kathy, not going to finish her off. She's going to be able to heal herself and get herself away. It looks like they might chase down. They're trading here on the top side. He's not going for another Q, and he's not going to hit it. Looks like he might just be content to take the Grom. And I'm not sure if he knows that he could be fought on this specifically. Trade in mid. Looks like that he will end up getting the Grom. It looks like that they're trying to fight here. I'm not sure if you do want to take a 3v1. Vitas maybe going a bit too far for it. It doesn't look like he is. Bandage Toss connects. That was beautifully played. It looks like Vitas is going to be going down as well. And it looks, and maybe Lelouch's next on the list. Trading here in mid lane. Sandy's gonna, nice E to dodge out of the Rise Q. Still 2 fights happening on different sides of the map. It looks like Lelouch is gonna be getting picked up here. So going for a very crazy play. Oh, he misses the Q. And a nice trade coming out here for the mid lane. And man, very action-packed game so far. And I do think that it is probably the correct choice to try to be a bit more aggressive on the side of Snarkify. I mean, like, you have to be, like, I think you do have to be aggressive in this game, as you have to try to, like, really get back into it. Like, you can't, like, let, like, you know, the Twitch Scion, like, just outscale you, because it will get to a point where the team fighting will just get way too hard, even if you have decided that, you know, I really hope you rise though, where eventually you do hit the actualizing spike really hard. But man, more and more suspicious by the second. Right up here. Colleen's gonna come out. I'm not sure if you want to try to take that fight. The bubble doesn't connect. And nothing really happening here. Hero kind of just crawling in the lane, looking for an opportunity. It looks like he might not get it. As it looks like he's just gonna take a base. Snow. Spot out Sam. Literally is just going back to his own. More trading up here top side. Butcher is getting very, very, very strong from this Scion. CS up. Trading here on the side of mid lane. It looks like a fight might be breaking down on the bottom side. Curse of the Sad Money comes out. Tidal Wave goes in. And it looks like this is a good fight on the side of Snarkify. Vitas is going to get hit by the bubble. He does take down Bean, and it looks like he might be looking for more here. Oh, not where you're going to want to like aim with the Malphite ult, but it looks like they might just be going for it. And here comes Snow over the wall. Tuna's going to be taking down Vitas, and it looks like Lelouch is just going to get like cleaned up next. And man, oh man, and then Kaguya's going to be going down as well. And it's just a complete disaster on the side of Snarkify. Not what you want to see, and really not what you hope to see if you're any Snarkify fans. Looks like spawn on ducks. And it looks like Twitch is just going to completely shoot Sandy's head off. And Colleen comes out, but I'm not sure if it's going to really do anything. That's an Amumu. Where is this? Snow's just ulting, like, you know, to like the next door neighbor's house, as looks like Vitas is just going to have to dash away. Well played on the side of the bot lane of Metabusters, like, you know, catching Sandy off guard there when he thought he was completely fine. But, you know, the Twitch ult granting you that extra range, allowing you to just take people down from the forest. Sandy's not expecting it. And really not expecting it when, you know, you have an invisible Twitch who's just prowling around. That's going to be a second trait picked up on the side of Metabusters. So far, so good in this game. be interesting to see how this does play out in the end. As man, I think Fuja's like, doing so much CS and he's just being so helpful. So looking for a trade here. Chains don't connect. As he's quite strong. Hero waiting in the wings. Looking for an overcommittal. Snow doesn't seem to take the bait. As Hero is just going to be going in for these Raptors here. And it should be interesting to see how this plays out specifically. Straight down from mid lane. Looks like Snow could be in a bit of trouble. TP's going to be coming out to dissuade any funny business. Fuja does just TP to the mid lane, but he'll probably just walk himself right back to the top lane. After, of course, taking away that control ward. Oh. So Plague to Snow maybe. And Sandy's gonna pop the ghost. He's looking for Snow still. He's gonna have to flash over the wall. Sandy flashes after him. Looks like maybe a trade came out here. Hero should be able to takes down with the thrown Q. And Fuja's just gonna tries to get him over the wall, maybe to also like get Hero to have to like ult out or something, but he doesn't really there. Comes in front of the broadside. Bubble doesn't connect. Exhaust comes down, but nothing really to come of it. Sometimes you do just have to right-click mid lane as the Amumu, but he's gonna find that vantage toss, and I'm gonna get change to start picking up these objectives. Sadly coming out, but now my ult will be answered, and this fight's looking pretty good for the side of Snarkify here. It looks like it might just be 2 free kills here. The side is just so tanky though. I think Hero's going to get taken down by Future, and Snow's on the way. I think that Snarkify is going to have to start running, and it looks like they will. On the boss side, he's getting some good trades off. Top side, however, it looks like there is going to be maybe a chase here. If Sandy can get out, he does get the phase rush, and that should give him to safety on the side of that. Bot lane turret is going to be picked up on the side of Snarkify. And you're going to really want to just take all you can get and start to slowly fall yourself back into this game. Twitch ult's starting to come up. I wonder if that who's going to look for it is. The tidal wave comes out, doesn't really hit anyone, but here comes the Scion. The key that ult looks very strange, but I guess it did just connect, and it looks like the Lucian's going to be being taken down next. That Scion did take his driving lessons, and so down goes the ball lane of Snarkify. Trade coming out here mid. Sun coming out here on the side of Hero. Good flash W to save his mid laner and take down Snow. And honestly, not great, but not too terrible. You do get to pick up mid lane, but you really didn't hope that your bot lane got taken down there at the end of it all. As things in this game continue to evolve and devolve. Slowly but surely, they are starting to clean up this game a bit. Looks like they are going to be just farming the waves. As okay, he's going to be going on to the side of Snarkify. That's a pretty big win, as you really just need to get more gold in your pocket, and turrets are the name of the game currently, so you're going to need to do what you need to do to try to get as much money as you can. Looks like she'll look for a play here mid, as he's looking something on the top side of things. And I'm not sure if he gets even so much trouble he's in. Dashes away, fearing a engage. But It's not really taking that much damage at all. W shield, just keep that Lucian combo. Team's positioning here for things to happen. And he's taking it, but he is going to get knocked up right out of the Herald. And the Scion charge isn't going to hit anyone. The Culling comes out. Tidal Wave's going to connect onto 2. Both teams positioning for a fight. Not really any good angle for the Curse of the Sad Mummy yet. And it looks like they are just going to be trying to send it onto the Rise. But it looks like that the move's just going to go down before he can use his ultimate. And the Twitch is kind of in the middle of things. Really nice Rise EQ bounce. As the bubble is going to land onto Sandy. Scion knocks up Pantheon. In comes the Malphite ult. Sandy's just completely deleted. This Twitch is doing so much damage and so much work. As it's going to be 3 so far. Looking for 4. And it's going to be looking like it's going to be a 5-for-1 ace for the side of Metabusters. And man, they just completely just swept them there. I think that like in that fight you really just need to like the name of the game is just find the Twitch, and the Twitch found them. So definitely not what we want to see outside of Snarkify Rebellion. But they should be getting the Drake here. It's going to be 3rd Drake going over as the game is looking more and more disfavorable towards Metabusters. Honestly, I think at this point in the game, you really have to wonder if you're Snarkify, like the ways, like the paths are getting back into the game, and I think that like if you really do just rely on like having like the Rise like sit in a side lane and just like with a Pantheon like cover and just looking for a pick like on someone, anyone just to try to like recoup like some of these like financial losses, as it's gonna be like a 6K gold deficit. Looks like they're gonna clear out some vision here near the command. I wonder if Metabusters might be thinking about maybe starting to like clear the vision as well. Maybe angle for a start even. Looks like it's just playing a safe game so far. Simple farming, and as you can see, the levels on the side of Snarkify don't actually look too bad, as slowly but surely like, they are like remaining somewhat even levels. So it really is just like this item advantage on the side of Metabusters that is like really pulling them through these fights. But I wonder if eventually, like, if Snarkify can pull this back, because it does look pretty grim at the moment, as the game is starting to get more and more harder, as this Twitch and, like, this Scion is just kind of unkillable, and this Twitch is just able to just delete their team and have to drop their hat. Looks like they're just going to start to clear out his minions, his wings, as both teams are waiting for the spawn of this maybe last fourth Drake, but this Drake is quite important as it is just Ocean Soul, which could just be detrimental to like any hope of victory for the side of Snarkify.
It's me!
Not happening yet. Looks like just a slow and steady game so far, as
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Taking on the side of top side. Probably not really too much. Looks like there's a fight here. Flash can get burned out from Hero. As slowly but surely, fights are not. Oh my goodness, Future just did so much damage with that Scion. Like Titanic auto. That's crazy. And it was on to Malphite. Looks like I have to look for a fan of Scion here, but I'm not sure if this is really what you want to be looking for. He's just gonna ult out of there. Pantheon all burned as well. And Snarkify's not really getting anything out of it. As more vision is getting more vision and control is being secured on the side of Metabusters. And so coming to this next Drake is looking like something you really don't want to try to like opt into. And looks like a trap might be set here. Banishoff is going to miss, but you can just flash and move ult in. That's perfect. As Silas goes in. The Twitch is spray and praying, but he's exhausted. As Here's going to be going down. Malphite ult goes in. Great ultimate from Kagi to take down the Twitch. Malphite ult is stolen away. In comes Snow, taking down Sandy. They're going to just be hitting each other as the Scion is just completely unkillable. They're trying to do everything they can. Good dash away from Vetus to dodge the Silas chain, but the Scion still has ulti. Boom. No, Q's not going to connect on the Scion, as there just looks like they're just going to instead get swept up by the Silas. As Snow continues to pursue. This is the E. As maybe he can look again, but it looks like that Lucia is going to get away for her life. And even when the fight looked so good in the beginning with Turner going down, it ends up just not even being like that great. Man, oh man. That's really not what you want to see happen. Looks like this push again is picked up, and I think you just need to send it here if you're on the side of Snarkify. Hero maybe looking for an angle here, but it looks like he's going to get flanked by the Scion. Pressing his feet to try to run out of there. Uni ult's going to get burned. The Dragon's going to go over on the side of Metabusters. Soul is theirs, as claimed. The curse is out of him. Mummy just got popped for fun. Sandy's just going to get engaged on this. Nothing he can do at all as he is taken down. The Rise ult is going out. Looks like they're going to, hello, we're here now, and we're going to be taking you down. As down goes Vetus, down goes Lelouch, and Kagi's going to be getting chopped up next. And I think it's just an ace triple kill for Snow. And man, oh man, what a clinic getting put on here by Metabusters. Looks like they're just going to be wrapping up this game right here. I'm not sure if Hero is going to be able to stall. It looks like they might not be going for the end. Instead, they might just be looking to get more gold. Why not? As they are just going to take down more inhibitors. Looks like the only lane left standing on the side of Snarkify is bot lane. As looks like they might just chase them. Sure if they can really even like do anything even if they wanted to. I don't hate chasing them here though, because you do really just need to try to fight your way out of this. So they back those items and the gold they have, not even Giverwin, as Hero is just going to get engaged on. And this is the last ditch effort, and the Malphite ult is actually really good. Snow really low, but the spray and pray is just tearing them up. As that block of cheese on the head isn't really doing anything to stop that Twitch. They can try to do something here. The Christmas Ad Mummy just lands on the two people that it can. As the Bandage Toss is just great. It's a Moonwitch champion is just kind of just winning everything. As there goes the Nexus. And there goes the game. Looks like it's going to be just 1-0 to the side of Metabusters so far in this series. Great game coming out there so far. And honestly, that was quite a bloodbath, as slowly but surely the game looked quite playable, and then it really just didn't. Alright. Give me just 1 second. All right, and we're gonna be back here, hopping right into draft. Sorry about the wait. It looks like that we are gonna be seeing the Yunara Emilio coming out from the side of Metabusters. So I wonder
I do
if
think it's
Stats and
actually,
Data.
I think it's flipped because I assume that Metabusters is the team that banned the Lee Sin.
Hold on. Let me check.
Possibly. But either way, Varus coming out when you've also already picked Kaisa indicates to me that's Varus solo lane, which is very exciting.
Okay, correct.
I w-
Okay, apologies. The
yeah.
draft is flipped. So
You know,
that
and I will say Varus top is a very strong pick, but Varus mid into Galio is also extremely free. So if that's a Galio mid, I think you got to be worried about the Varus going into that too. I think if you don't like the top lane matchup, you could put it against Galio and you're going to be pretty happy there. Kai'Sa's kind of fun. And then second phase ban's coming through a Yorick ban. That's interesting. Seraphine ban coming in as well.
is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I wouldn't think Seraphine's the best pairing with Kaisa, and if they're trying to target Kathy's champion pool, I know she'd also be very comfortable on something like the Lulu, which they hovered, but then chose to ban the Seraphine instead. Jarvan, a pretty good pick here, although Kaisa is an AD carry that does have the ability to kind of peel herself out of Jarvan's ultimate. Varus, on the other hand, not as much. And there's the Lulu we were talking about.
It looks like it is going to be the Lulu.
Kaisa Lulu, a good pairing, but your comp doesn't have a ton of engage right now other than just Volibear running at you or Varus ultimate. And with the Urgot looking to get locked in, that is actually going to be the Varus mid lane that I was referencing. And as I was saying, I think that's a very good matchup into Galio. I would not want to play the melee side of that matchup.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think that the melee side of the matchup just completely sucks. A lot of AP on the side of this Snarkify draft.
Hovering Jin Zhao here. Although with Jarvan already locked in, one of those would have to go solo lane.
Yeah, it looks like it would just be picking up the Aurora in the end.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how this plays out particularly.
I would assume you'd have to be sending the Aurora top. I wouldn't think you'd want to play Galio top lane here, not into an Urgot.
Yeah, this is quite the interesting draft. Excuse me. This is quite the interesting draft. I don't know exactly how this is going to pan out, but it should be pretty interesting to see.
I do like the synergy that Snarkify's drafted here. I mean, anytime you pair Galio with Jarvan, you have a pretty clear way to start team fights off that can look pretty favorable, especially against champions like Lulu and Varus, that if they get stuck in that ultimate, if they don't have flash, they should just die. And then you also can combo that with Aurora finding flanks and getting some big AoE damage down on those similar targets. But just the individual matchups here are kind of concerning for me. I think Varus will do very well in his matchup. I think Urgot should do fine. And then, as someone else in chat said, I think Volibear is just extremely strong on this patch and will probably be okay playing into Jarvan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. It should be interesting to see how exactly this ends up. They end up pairing up some of these champions together. I really do like we've seen the Volibear, like Dusk and Dawn builds so far in like early parts of this new season. And we've also seen like, you know, this very high priority on actually like hyper carries so far, and the like especially with like the ADC roles. As you know, you do get more gold, and it's easier to get to like those like item spikes that really make you strong.
Spot on. One thing with the Volibear build though is as strong as I think it is when you hit those item spikes, you were very squishy on your first and your second item, especially if you go into something like the Navori Quick Blades or Flicker Blades, whatever it is. You can be very susceptible to getting exploded. So if you know Jacob goes for that build, I think there's some concern that a well-timed Jarvan engage with an Aurora follow-up could potentially kill the Volibear before he's really able to take over a fight.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, like, not really panning out like how, like, you know, you'd imagine it. There definitely is like a lot of things that can like and will go wrong, like if you aren't like considering like many of like the like intricacies of like that micro, specifically when it comes to champions. But I think that it will be a pretty action-packed game. It should be exciting to see how this all pans out in the end.
Yeah, you know, if I'm looking at SR here to bounce back, who do I think really needs to step it up? I think you got to see more out of their bot lane. I think when you look at this team on paper, you're looking at their bottom lane combination as kind of maybe their main strength. And, you know, they don't have an easy matchup. Stav is a longtime player in the server coming back this season playing really well. He just had an amazing game on his, you know, Twitch comfort pick. But, you know, we saw some insane games on the Yunara for Vetus last season. And so I'm looking at him to really bounce back and be a point for his team. And I think into the Kaisa Lulu, they should have maybe a better option or better chance here than they did last game.
Yeah, I'm a very very highly rated on like this SR bot lane. Like I think Vetus and Lelouch are just a really good like pairing when it comes to like playing around each other's strengths. Vetus is just a super like hyper aggressive like hyper carry player who all like you know he'll pick like the Zeri, the like in this case the Yunara. He'll like you know like the Kai'Sa's like on like the other side of it, but like he'll play that too. And normally, like you know, those champions like really just want like an enchanter to like just enable them, and just give them a maximum value. And I really think that Lelouch is just a like very good, like very solid enchanter player. Like like we've seen like like games before where like she'll pick like the Renata, and it'll be like highly effective.
Yeah, definitely. From what I saw from him last season, the two champions that stood out the most to me was the Zeri and the Yunara. So to see him get back on one of those is very exciting.
And I think this I think it's is a I think something also to point out about this game is that it is an interesting choice to actually have Snow specifically go against Sandy instead of Fuzier, but I
Yeah.
think that is probably to match, like strong player under strong player, to prevent like Sandy from like being able to like get like any like sort of like advantage like out of like come out of lane with like any like
Sure.
sort of advantage, like just try to like neutralize him and prevent him from like being like some like highly if like influential like force like on the map.
Yeah, I think that's probably, some of their thought process there. Although, I mean, Fuzier played a great season last season in mid lane, so I wouldn't be shocked if he could also, slot in there and do pretty well. Obviously, though, looked super comfortable last game going top lane, playing that Scion to just like a really high level. So this lineup that they've crafted is also just kind of showing their strength and ability to, play so many different roles. I mean, a lot of the teams have kind of shown that, but Metabuster's just another one that, I mean, you've seen Snow play multiple roles now, Fuzier play multiple roles, Jacob's looking great in jungle, also in his support, obviously. So just a really flexible team and kind of, as you said, set their lineup based on, maybe where they feel like strengths need to match strengths.
Yep. And it looks like that we will be getting into the game here
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
as well.
And yeah, I'm really excited. And it looks like they actually are gonna send the Galio top. You know, I do think Aurora will do better into Varus than Galio will, but I certainly think, you know, Urgot will do better into Galio than it would have Aurora. So kind of an interesting decision here, in my opinion. And I'd be kind of nervous to see, you know, how much of an advantage can Fuzier generate into this Galio matchup. I'm not sure. I've never seen this matchup play out, but I've got to imagine it'd be very hard for Galio.
Yeah, I think that Galio is a champion where he actually, like, basically there's, like, kind of like 2 checks, and one of the checks is, like, is something ranged, and does it do magic damage, basically. And it's okay if, like, one of the checks isn't satisfied, like, maybe something is, like, ranged, but it's, like, you know, it's a magic damage champion, so, like, you're gonna be able to, like, have an easier time, like, you know, fighting against it. But, like, you know, if it's a ranged, like, AD champion, you know, that's, like, kind of a problem. So, like, as we see, like,
and
already...
you're seeing it, yeah.
And Kage really low, as that's really see.
Yeah, I think you just cannot contest the level 1 right there. Gets hit by the flip, chooses to hold on to the exhaust as well, and I mean, yeah, as soon as you land that flip on Urgot, I mean, you're winning every trade at that point. Hero looking for a really early potential gank here onto the Varus, but I don't think the lane's going to be in a position to where it's, you know, gankable.
Yeah.
And you know what that does too, that gives Fuzier the information that Jarvan started top and is pathing bot, and he can just play with the absolute most confidence as he tries to bully this Galio, because he knows that Jarvan's nowhere near him.
Absolutely, and I think, like, so far, like, in this game, I think that well, we will see, like, if, like, you know, Hero's, like, aggressive pathing, like, ends up being punished, as if Jacob just keeps, like, doing what he's doing, he should be able just to get, like, the scuttle, like, on time, and probably have some free time to, like, you know, either, like, maybe, like, you know, drop by either, like, mid or top, or, you know, most likely mid, though, if, like, anything happens here. So it looks like that both lanes are getting pushed into a degree. Good combo coming out there, as
yeah,
chunk.
Aurora definitely will win these early trades as far as damage goes, but I think we're just kind of waiting for that 1 item and then 2 item spike on the Varus. As soon as you complete the Dusk and Dawn, you can almost 100 to 0 people with your ultimate.
Yeah, the Dusk and Dawn is quite powerful, and you know, you just max your W and you can just completely just pop people with that Varus passive.
Yep. Snow choosing to get a Cole as well, so really just, you know, committing to the, gonna try to farm out, get that gold, get those items. And I mean, I like that decision by him.
Yeah. Looks like nice trade coming out there for Sin. Get a bit more punishment. Doesn't look like he goes for it.
Yeah, one thing I've seen as well is, you know, even when going this AP Varus build, actually still choosing to put some extra points in Q early to kind of give you a little bit more damage just in the laning phase before you get all your AP items.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of builds where the Varus will actually end up going around, like, it's mostly always just 3 points. Nice trade coming out there from both sides. And they'll go 3 points in Q, and then they'll just dump everything else into W, like, from that point on.
Kind of a quiet early game. Hero again looking for a gank.
Yeah, you might find... Oh, not really what you're going to want to see for a combo there. Barrier is going to get forced out from Snow.
Yeah.
The trade. I think that Hero just needed to, like, just at least just, I actually think if he just walked out of the bush and just walked at him, like, he maybe could even
force a
his
flash maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think at best or worse you get a flash there. Yeah. So just feeling the nerves a little bit there. I mean, that's an uncharacteristic mistake out of him.
Yeah, generally he is just pretty solid about getting, like, ganks off, as he does generally path, like, aggressively, so he's used to, like, ganking, but I guess, you know, just have to...
Snow's in danger here, though.
Yeah,
Aurora with the stick,
looks like
kill.
Q, yeah, and there down goes Snow. And it's just a simple pickup, and Snow just not, like, respecting, like, the level up. from the side
Yeah,
of
the
Sandy,
Aurora level 6 there.
I think that like you just really need to like just be aware that like any like like he has like more minions killed than you do.
Yeah, kind of an awkward position there with where the lane was, but yeah, just well done by Sandy there to get a kill, and that's what you need. Like if you're gonna put the Galio top, the mid lane pick needs to do work into the Varus, and getting a first blood there is huge.
Absolutely. Yes. It looks like there's nothing really to look here top side. It is a Galio Drake, so it's quite hard. It looks like Texas Tech Drake is going to be going over to the side of Snarkify, as this game quite pales in comparison to last early game.
Yep, starting off a little slow, a little quiet here as the teams look to scale. So many strong one-item spikes on these teams.
I think that at this point in the game, that you're really just gonna want to try to like. It is kind of like who can get to like their first item, Like, is the like Aurora going to like? It looks like he's maybe going for the Storm Surge like early, but going for that Storm Surge. Riz going for the Dusk and Dawn. Bully's also probably going for the Dusk and Dawn as well. And
yeah, Aurora, an interesting champ, can sometimes get away without building a Lost Chapter item.
yeah.
If you want to just go for some straight burst of, like, as you said, the Storm Surge into like a Shadow Flame.
Yeah, I actually think that it generally is like better to go that in scenarios where you're not going to be like the fight's not going to last long enough for you to get like your second spell rotation off. And so it's like nice
huge
ultimate
sidestep
coming
there.
out there from Snow, and it looks like Sandy's going to be going down because he just had no flash. His ultimate just came up as well. That's just really overly aggressive, and aggression is just punished as Snow just pops like the Elixir Force, and it looks like Hero's going to be going in. He doesn't get the knockup though, so I don't think anything's going to be coming out there. And man, oh man.
That's just, I like that by Snow. I mean, just very calmly sidestepped the E, and then at that point traded back with his own ultimate. And I mean, you see right there, the Varus doesn't even have any ability power built yet, but just the ultimate giving you all the stacks is just still so much damage.
Yeah, and it looks like it's coming out here. Stun's going to connect. Ultimate's going to come out from Amelia with a cleanse, and maybe they might try to look to trade back here. And I think that nothing's really going to come out except 2 ultimates burned on the side of Snarkify. Which I think that you're just happy with that. That's you get to retain your summoners.
Close them.
Slow push sticking out here.
Good damage from Sandy, though. I mean, it's just, both mid laners have so much damage, it's just kind of who can hit it.
Yeah. I mean, it really is just, like, that Aurora, like, QE combo. Just so lethal. So lethal and can hurt so much. It looks like Hero is...
Volley but squishy here, though.
Here comes the Galio. That magic shield is pretty significant as all of Snow's damage got blocked.
Ooh.
As Sandy goes in here on the backside. Might look for a play. The Urgot ult's going to eat Hero alive as Fuji might just continue the march as Kage might be in trouble here. He does have exhaust and flash. Maybe he just ease out, and yes, he does. Flash E, and he's safe. As it looks like just a trade of kills onto both sides.
I like the job of finding Jacob there in his jungle and getting a kill, but it was a good roam down by Fuji to trade that back for a 1-for-1. But as you saw there, Jacob is squishy on this Volibear build right now, and they can burst him out, as you just saw.
Yeah, it's not so easy to live, especially as most of the time Volibear, you used to getting some damage or health defensive item early, but he's not really able to get any. He's not really going for that as he's just trying to get more damage off.
Yeah, and I believe Volibear had used his ultimate in the bot lane gank, so he didn't have it there for that jungle skirmish.
Just one more trading here top side. I mean, you can see kind of how this matchup is going as Galio is just falling more and more behind in terms of CS. Decent top lane now.
Yeah, make him take a couple turret shots.
Yeah, it is good to make him take turret shots, but it is these trades are only going the way because of the turret. And
Oh.
I wonder if they might be looking for something here mid. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I thought Hero might have an angle to come from behind, but I think it's just so dangerous with Bears having flash and ult by his turret.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to look for there at all. As looks like they do get some vision down, so I think they did see Jacob cross to his bot side. And they are missing pinging the middle bush in the lane, so might be wary of any shenanigans that go on there.
Both AD carry players farming really well, especially Vetus here. Getting very close to that one item spike on the Yunara. I think once that item gets completed, we'll look to see, what can he do.
Looks like, well, we're going to be looking at what he can do right now, as ult's going to get popped, and Hero, he's just clicking R, but not really in range to do anything. I mean, it might not even be good to go on the Lulu there. She just has everything, as Fuji's also just pressing his lead upside and top, but nothing else really happening there. As
they are starting up another dragon, though. You might be able to get second drag already on the side of SR, which would be pretty huge. Snow, yeah.
Side of Sandy, and he also connects the
Fuji's
ultimate.
TPing.
It looks like that Hero gets completely chunked. Punch is going to come out from the side of Lelouch. Hero's going to be going back in. In goes the Aurora ult, but crossing between worlds, and this world is like not long, at least for the side of Hero. As I think that was just a really, really just well-timed TP from the Urgot, as Galio really can't match that because he had he took the exhaust to try to get the bleeding. But
yeah, he'd have to walk very far down to actually get into ultimate range there, and was not able to do it in time until you get a 5v4. And even though Snow took such a massive chunk at the start of that, he's sitting there safely over the wall and landed a really nice ultimate onto Hero.
yeah, and I think they're happy with that. As I think the really nice chunk out there from the side of Sandy. Up here on top side.
So Aurora actually went for the Rocket Belt first item. I've not personally seen or tried that.
I mean, I can kind of see it working. Generally has pretty good stats, as Flash gonna get forced out there from Caffey. Is getting caught, but it looks like that he just might be going back in. Kickball connects, but they may have bit off a bit more than they can chew. As you can see, Snow is coming down here, but Flash
has
R
ult.
is going to be Flash. Flash is going to be a trade of Flashes, and they're going to be walking it right back.
Oh no!
They do see the TP finally come in from Kage, but I think he really just needs the base because Fuji might just eat that tower alive up there.
Yeah, I get the desire to want to TP there to help
maybe
the
they just
team,
keep sending it, and maybe they just catch out the bear. So he does no flash. He's going to be going down as he just is going to be picking up that one, and they're going to be forcing out Jacob here, so he can't really come to help at all. And Jacob, I'm not sure if you really want to go hit a ward. I'm not sure if that's worth it, as Kage's going to be taking up that kill as well. And man, oh man, I think that Metabusters just needs to just cut their losses.
Yeah, what looked originally like a kind of an unfortunate TP, because you do see all the solo time Fujer's getting. Those two picks make that into actually a pretty solid play for the side of SR.
Yeah, and Hero continuing to try to keep them away from his turret, but doesn't really have ultimate, so it's going to be no follow-up on the side of there.
Blue team's turret
Damage
has been destroyed.
hard.
Yeah. And they were able to pick Snow there because he chose to flash in aggressively to try to find that ultimate angle. I think as this game goes further on, he's going to want to be holding his flash to be able to use it defensively.
Yeah. And I do wonder if, at some point in the game, man, I mean, the Yunara is just getting really, really, really strong. And even though this Galio, keeping behind, now he has a bounty. As her ult's just not going to hit anyone. And no one's going to be fearing this Urgot, as he's just gonna get slowly and surely get taken down by the J4. And
Yeah.
he's gonna flip him though. Maybe there's something here. No, there's nothing at all. I mean, just
Close.
yeah. He does get a shield, but I mean the J4 still just has like more than 70% of his health, so nothing happening on the side of that. As
Yeah. SR done a nice job of kind of getting this game into a comfortable position. Although you do have Dusk and Dawns getting completed on both Volibear and Varus, so we'll see how this next fight looks with those item completions.
Those are very big item spikes on the side of Metabusters. And it looks like they might be positioning for a Herald here. I'm not sure if Snarkify is going to let them have it. Oh, those don't hit onto anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say the Milio's actually going to be a little bit annoying for Varus this game because, you know, normally an ultimate onto a, squishy member is pretty much instant death, but if Lelouch is able to just, press the Milio ultimate at that same timing and allow that player to get out, it could be a big game changer.
It looks like they might be going for a play here onto Sandy. And Sandy is just going to pop the ultimate and run away. And yeah, that's going to be curtains on that. And it's like...
Oh, they're coming for him, though.
Collapsing. Yeah, I'm not sure if Snow is going to get away from this.
He's not reading this.
Oh, yeah, and it looks like he just isn't going to do anything. He's just going to be getting picked up and going down. Looks like we have friends incoming, though. Sav is going in. Nothing's really going to be happening as the Galio comes in, but Kathy got picked out on the other side of it, and Sark is just transcending himself above this rift to just dish out so much damage. Triple kill going over to Sandy. And man...
SR firmly in control now.
Good movement, but at the end of the day, you can't just dodge everything. As in goes Hero, and he's going to be securing the ace for Snarkify.
Wow. And yeah, I mean, SR firmly in control now. What was looking like a good start to the game for Metabusters is just come sort of a blowout. I mean, it's almost a 6K gold lead at 17.5 minutes.
It's just kind of a reverse of what we saw last game, where they were firmly ahead, but like this game, it's just completely the script's flipped. And
I think a big part of this, all these positive plays, where have they occurred? In the bottom lane, off of the pressure that the Vetus and Lelouch lane was able to generate this game.
I actually completely agree. I think that the score really doesn't tell the story of how much pressure. Vetus and Lelouch were able to press, even though Sandy and Hero have played I think quite well throughout the mid to the mid stages of the game. I think that just the fact that that bot lane was able to give them so much pressure and so much priority to really look for plays in this bot side of the map, it's really worked out. But he just walked into a bush, but he's just going to simply ult over and walk over the wall. As right there. It looks like that Metabus is going to be picking up this kill. Or are they, as Hero does cancel his back. They might sniff this, but this is all 5 of them here making a play for Herald. And I'm not sure if they do want to take this fight, as it doesn't have ulted, but it might just not matter. Ooh. Triple knockup from the Galio. Really great play coming out here from Kage. But Heroes is going to get picked up on the other side of it. The exhaust is going to be thrown down onto Snow. They're going to be taking him up and taking him down real quickly. And it looks like Fuja's getting pursued on the top side here as Sandy continues to chase. And man, so many.
He's going the wrong direction. This is going to be a dead Urgot.
Very dead Urgot, as might just be dead to the right. So it looks like the Thompson is coming out, and it's just going to be an easy pickup for Sandy here with another kill. And they did get the Herald, but it did cost 3 of them, or 2 of them at the very least. And maybe it is worth, but I feel like that you don't really mind if you're on the side of Snarkify, as I'm not sure if you can ever be able to really threaten anything with this Herald yet.
No, I mean, both turrets that are still up, I believe, are a little too healthy to just fall down directly to the Herald. So I think you're going to hold it and, hope you can find a good fight that you can then turn into a turret take with it. But we'll see. Or maybe you kind of use it before the next dragon, if it lasts that long.
Looks like
I don't know,
Staub
I
is
don't know if
walking
Staub
up
wants
here,
to-
but he's just completely not respecting the damage coming out from Vetus, and it looks like they might just be able to turn on a Baron with that pick. As
I think you're right. I'm not sure if Staub didn't realize that Lelouch was still just hanging off right out of vision and immediately got turned on there.
yeah, I think that like I'm not even sure like even like without like Lelouch there, like he can really just do that. Like Yara does have ults and he can just completely just complete you. That's,
Yeah. And I mean, look at how much farm Vetus has right now. 232 farm at 21 minutes.
yeah.
Just going beast mode this game. I mean, that's what I said, that's what I said as we were loading in. Is you need to see it out of their bot lane for this team to look at their absolute best. And I mean, just as good of a performance as you could ask for so far, I think.
Yeah, I believe in the South we call that corn-fed. So he is very well fed this game.
You know, if you are the side of Metabusters and you're trying to say, you know, how can we fight our way back in this one? You do have 2 items on Kaisa now, but you're going to have to be very opportunistic with which kind of picks you can find. So maybe you can find some sort of a pick with Verisult, or you can try to play for the Urgot side lane, but I mean, even at this point, Kage's just kind of tanky enough to where Urgot can't just run through a side.
Unwavering
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And you have Varus top here, but I believe he may need to back or else you'll just get turret dove.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, maybe he is able to, like, you know, take that top tier 2, but I'm not sure if it's worth, like, giving up, like, both these tier 3s here, as they're just continuing to knock. And maybe Blush even looking for an engage here. I don't even think it's that bad. Volibear ult is going to get forced out, but how comes the Galio ult? I'm not finding the effectiveness that you want out of it, but at the end of the day, they are going to get both inhibitors.
Yep.
And the top tier 2 actually doesn't even go down, so he doesn't even get that gold from it to begin with.
And Dragon just spawned, so they'll just fall back and grab their 3rd Dragon.
Yeah.
And I mean, the 3 item spikes that Yunara is on, I mean, that's just so much damage. I really don't see how you can take a favorable fight. I'm not sure you're supposed to kill the Yunara through all the Milio protection at this point. Uh-oh, Stav might be in trouble here.
Might be very much in trouble. I think the roll just finish him off. It does. Man, oh man.
And there's your Herald. I mean, you're just forced to drop it, and it's not going to get anything.
Yeah. Not anything at all, as it looks like that Metabusters, no, Snarkify Rebellion, is just going to be knocking on the door of Metabusters. Figure out these minions, but I'm not sure if you can ever really walk in range. I mean, 2 autos is just 300 HP, and she's not even like ulted or Q, or has like an enhanced Q. And it looks like an enhanced Q just might just be 500 with 1 auto, might be 500 health. And Hero goes deep in. I'm not sure if he really wanted to do that. Gets instantly deleted by Snow. And I think that the side of Snarkify might have to back off, but maybe they don't. Maybe they just have so much gold they can just do whatever they want. Maybe this Yunara is just in creative mode, as looks like slowly but surely they are just going to back away. Flash all hits, but the cleanse is going to come out instantly. Lucia's going to flash away, scared of the, you know, that flash bear slap.
Blue
But
team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, so I mean, they hold the base for now, but I think you described it well. Yunara's kind of playing on creative mode right now.
yeah. I mean, we saw like just an enhanced, not an enhanced alt auto, just an enhanced auto from her. Just did like 500 damage to the Volibear, and you know he has plated steel caps.
Yeah, I do think the problem with this Volibear build, though, is if you're not ahead and if you fall behind at all when you go for this 2-item spike, you are strong, but you're never going to be able to actually stand there and hit people long enough to take, you know, get use out of your item
It
build.
looks like they might be looking for a pick here on the Fuchsia. Turtle Right now, there's a flash from G4 ultimate as Heath is still alive, but not going to live much longer as the Fury on death, not really finding the use that you hope out of it. Hero, that's the flash, along with the G4 ultimate, but that's going to be it. But it will probably enable them to get this top lane tower. Looks like they might just want to pick up the entire base before anything else. As slowly but surely, that might be a play here. As Sandy looks at the play, and Jacob's just going to go down. Not much you can really do about it. The taunt coming out. Stavs can't really do anything. And in comes Vetus, completely just wipes the floor of Metabusters, and there's just nothing that they can really do, as yeah, it looks like we are going to be going to game 3, and man, oh man.
And I believe first game 3 of the season as well. I believe, yeah, I think so. So, but what a statement bounce back from SR after that first game.
Yeah, what a statement indeed. You know, I was really wondering like how this would like end up, but yeah, it looks like that most of the players just like could not like do anything about this. Like Yunara, I mean the Aurora, and Aurora as well. They just were completely just untouchable, and just
the carries really stepped it up
much
this game.
Damage. Yeah.
Who are you thinking as far as MVP here for the second game?
I mean, if I was to give MVP, I mean, I think it's really tough. Like I think it's almost neck and neck, to be honest. But I do think that the way that Vetus played, especially like in lane, like being able just to get that advantage, like maybe like Stav and Kathy weren't like they weren't really dying on repeat, but they were just completely locked out of lane almost. It just felt like that there was like not much to like really be done there. And I think that because Vetus and Lelouch were able to just get so far ahead, it just made it so easy for like Hero and Sandy just to play the map. So I'd honestly just
I kind of have to agree with you. Yeah, I think with a strong shout out to both Lelouch and Sandy here for excellent performances. I mean, really, they all played well, but I agree with you that I think Vetus's pressure that he created, just that game was close for a minute and then just was absolutely not. Every single time they had to try to contest him in that bot lane push. And yeah, so I think a well-deserved MVP to Snark here for game 2. Who did you give game 1 to? I didn't hear.
I actually didn't decide on my MVP for game 1, but if I did, I honestly think that like the game 1 I think that the game 1 MVP at least in my heart of hearts actually would have been a Fujer. I think that like it was just like, even though like Stav had a really, really great Twitch performance, I think that like the fact that the Scion got so far ahead, just lived forever in team fights, just could never really die, like got so much space for his team, was just instrumental into the like win in game 1.
Makes sense to me from what I saw. Well, I don't know. I'm excited though. I mean, as I said, first game 3 of the season so far here in this final match of week 1. So pretty exciting here, especially when you consider the fact that, we're doing Fearless this season. So the further you get into series when you're doing Fearless, just the more exciting I think the games can become, the drafts can become. So I don't know. What are you looking here as we get into this game 3 draft? Anything that stands out to you? Do you feel like anybody's kind of been pinched at this point to maybe a point of concern, or any picks you're hoping to see?
Man, I don't know. I think that like you're discovering so much in this season that I'm kind of interested to see if anyone like pulls out something I don't expect. To be honest, at this point in the draft, I think that so far from what we've seen, I really want to see like if they try like actually like maybe like flipping like the like lanes around on the side of Metabusters, like maybe like just like give like a, because like like so far like Kage like has looked like just Like I mean, I don't blame him even like for like that like Galio game, but like he has like looked like exploitable to some extent, like in the top side, as like he didn't really get a favorable matchup at all. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
I
like
kind of agree.
he did. However, he did make like a lot of those Galio ults work and like end up like giving like his team like a lot of space to play with. Though.
Well, where that game really kind of flipped on its head was when he TP'd bot. Initially, it looked like maybe a bad TP because Urgot was getting alone time on that turret, but they converted it into 2 kills, and from there, it felt like they never let go of control of the game. So I think as long as he's able to kind of find those team plays, it's okay if your lane suffers a little bit. And I think if you're Metabusters, that's a game to review and look back at, because I think if you look at like 10 minutes into the game, you're probably sitting there saying this is a super good game state for us, and you're kind of scratching your head saying how did that go poorly so quickly? But it did. And now they got to try to find a way to bounce back themselves. I'm not sure if they'd potentially consider like a lane swap situation. Maybe put Snow top, or maybe you keep what was working. But I don't know. If I'm looking at something though, I would like a bot lane that Stav and Kathy can feel a little more comfortable on. The Kaisa and the Lulu. I mean, I think those are comfortable champs for them, but something you can really try to kind of hold your own against this Snark Lelouch bot lane that just got so much pressure this last game. Maybe something like a Sivir that just can, maintain a lot of lane priority if you're Stav. I don't know. Maybe that could help your team out.
Yeah, I think that hold on a second. I think a Sivir would be really good. Maybe like just something. I think actually like anything like maybe like that's like safe slash like more defensive bot lane. I'm not sure if either of the supports play engage supports, but I think that an engage support would like actually in a way kind of dissuades aggression, so that like because you're like very easily punishable. So like maybe like a
Yep.
Nautilus or like a Leona, like so that it's not like as easy as to play like as aggressively as like Snarkify's like bot lane would want to play.
Yep. I do think that's a little bit further out of, the comfort for Kathy, but I don't doubt that, she can pull one of those out, and maybe you try pairing it with something like the Sivir or the Jinx that Stav's also very comfortable on and see what you can do. I mean, you also see on that stats page, his Neela has some insane statistics, but that's obviously a bit more of a situational pick and a little bit riskier taking something like that into such a strong laner that is Vitus. But, so Metabusters lost and chose to go back to red side. They actually had side select in game one. So far, all 3 games, the team with side select has chosen red side, and red side has won both games so far. So we'll see what can Snarkify try to do here on blue side, and how much value can Metabusters get with that last pick.
Yeah, yeah. Red side, it is, it's all about like counters. It's all about picking like champions that are like strong. We're seeing like the bans coming out here pretty quickly. And it looks like this Akali pretty much banned all series, so I think I've seen Sandy's Akali, and I don't like blame them banning it. Looks like they are gonna be taking away the Wukong next, so Jace, Gwen, and Wukong can be banned here on the side of blue side.
And I expect to see another Lee Sin ban. I don't think you're going to give that over to Hero.
Or it looks like they might, as they're just going to be banning.
Snarkify actually choosing to ban Vi. Are they going to first pick Wukong potentially then?
Yeah. This is interesting. Yeah, Lee Sin ban coming out here. And interesting.
Although
ban
also, I'm not sure if
Vi.
you're concerned about the Wukong, because, if Jacob's the one playing jungle, I don't think he's going to go for something like the Wukong.
Yeah,
And you're more worried about Vi if you want Zeri, because
Yeah,
Vi's the kind of
exactly.
the counter to Zeri.
Exactly. So that, the Zeri pick going to be coming out as, the ban away the Vi. And I wonder if...
What are you looking at for a pairing with Zeri, though? Because, Lulu's already gone.
Lulu's gone. Yumi's gone as well.
Milio's gone. Yumi's gone. All these picks are gone. Now we're going to take the Wukong.
They might be... Yeah, it looks like they will just take the Jinx and the Wukong. At this point, I wonder if you could possibly just... Maybe you could just play, like, Nico. Or
Soraka, maybe? I mean,
Yeah.
Soraka's an enchanter that's still open, but I think both players on either side would probably be
Looks like
happy
they
with
will
that.
Go for the Renata, which I don't actually... I'm not sure if Renata is the pick, but we will.
I mean, I think
We'll
it's
see.
fine with Zeri, and because you're already showing Wukong, you're kind of showing that you want to play dive. And I mean, so far the SR draft to me just indicates we're putting all the eggs in a Vetus carry with tank Maokai and a Renata, and I think that's a fine choice. Janna, you know, it fits well with the Jinx, and I think it does pretty well into Renata. But right now, I'm a little concerned that you don't have enough threat onto Zeri if it's only Wukong. So we'll see how they round out their draft.
Yeah, I think that. Actually, honestly, if I'm being really honest, I think actually the best pick that meta, like if, I'm not sure if like Kathy plays. I'm not very familiar with Champo, but like if she could like pull out a Bard, I think that would actually be pretty exceptional, or even Braum even. But
Yeah, I mean, Nautilus kind of a long time pick into Zeri as well, although I think Renata would be pretty happy with that matchup, so maybe that's not what you wanted, but chose to go with the Janna. Definitely some comfort for Kathy here. Um, we'll see, what they can round out with. You do have the last pick on your side if you're Metabuster, so you can look to get a big counter.
it's like Kassadin and Vladimir taken away, so this
A lot of
mid
scaling.
pool is just getting more and more pinched. I'd wonder if, but I think at this point I'm not sure if you really care if like those picks are gone because you are just kind of like just playing for the Zeri. I think that actually at
Yeah,
this point
Sandy
in the
could maybe something
game,
like,
like I think an Ari actually wouldn't
yeah.
be that bad. Like
Ooh.
it's
I mean, Oriana's
decent.
still open, and I mean,
Yeah.
that's a champion that we've seen piloted to great success so far this season.
Yeah.
Victor's still open.
Well,
If you're wanting to just put a control mage in this SR lineup.
we'll see in
Azir
a
open.
second. As Metabusters deciding on their pick. Looks like they're going to be opting into the victor this game. Probably going into the hands of Snow. As I wonder if Sandy will take the Ari here. I mean, there's not too many great matchups into Victor. And it looks like he may take Diana. I'm not sure.
That might be Diana Jungle, though.
Yeah, that might be Diana Jungle. As they are hovering it. And it looks like, no, they're going to be taking Jinja or Trundle, I guess.
Oh.
I think it is the pick. I mean, yeah. I mean, there you go. If you really just want to like make this Wukong have a bad day, I mean, I guess that's what you could focus on. But I'm not sure if you'd really want Trundle and the other three champions, as it looks like they are going to be opting into Yone.
Yone, not a terrible pick into Victor. I mean, I do think Victor can bully the Yone out kind of hard in the early lane phase, but as you get into the later parts of the game, although they're switching,
and I'm
Veigar.
a very big fan of that. I think Veigar is actually pretty good into this comp. It makes it. I mean, I think their 4 or 5 picks are just have completely just shut this Wukong out of the game. I don't.
Yeah, how does he dive anyone?
I mean, there's like no dive anywhere. Like the Renata's gonna be paired with Azeri like permanently. Like if you try to dive the Trundle, he'll just ult you and just like literally kill you. I mean, the Veigar has a like cage.
Gangplank.
Maokai has a bunch of CC. And, yeah, it looks like they're gonna go through the GP. I think that Snow might be going top lane actually now, unless Fuja plays
Playing the Gangplank. Is that a Snow champion?
That is a very Snow core champion. So we could be actually seeing the roles being reversed, and I'm not quite sure if that is the case. We will see it in a bit.
I'm just concerned. I mean, like you got some fun picks on the side of Metabuster. Stav's a great Jinx player, and if you're indicating to me that Snow's a great Gangplank player, but I mean, I associate Vetus with the Zeri as much as the Yunara, and I just don't see how you threaten Vetus at all this game. And I'm concerned for Metabusters here. I see this just being a hard one to win. I really like SR's draft.
Yeah, I think SR's draft is really, really good. I mean, I agree with you completely. I think Zeri is just completely. I mean, if this is like if you were a Zeri player, think of like a game where like a perfect game like that. Like you would think like you'd want Peel, and you would want very like little to no dive on the enemy team, and that's like kind of like what you're going against. Like you're not like. The only dive is like the Wukong. Like the only champ that can really like make your like day like annoying or miserable is the Wukong. But there's so much peel and like so much like ways of dealing with the Wukong that just basically take him out of the game.
Yeah. And the crazy part to me is, you first picked the Zeri. So the enemy team had their entire draft to try to get something favorable into you, and you still ended up in such a good situation. I think if you're SR, you were just like ecstatic with how this one went.
Yeah, this draft is looking very
Although I will say the
SR.
one point, if it is Gangplank top into Maokai, or I guess it could be Trundle top, I honestly don't know which it'll
It
be.
is
I could see either top lane matchup being difficult for the player going into Gangplank.
yeah, and I have like confirmed it. It is in fact gonna be looks like Snow GP. So this is gonna be
Okay.
a very interesting
Exciting.
game coming up here. And let me just make sure I get all this right. I will have to make sure this gets
Well, as
created
you're working
correctly.
on that, I do think it's also an interesting Vagar game. You know, Vagar prefers to play into some lower range champions. I mean, he does have the range advantage kinda on Victor a little bit, but I mean, it's pretty even, all things considered. Both players have to be very careful actually walking super close to one another. And Jinx, what Victor or what Vagar can be annoying to Jinx is if a team fight starts going well for Metabusters, a Vagar cage can completely snuff the Jinx's ability to start resetting a fight if she gets that first kill. Because if you try to move forward too carelessly with the get excited move speed, you can run right into a Vagar cage and get turned back on. Um, so I do like the cage as kind of a deterrent for this team. If Wukong sends it too carelessly as well, and a well-placed cage can prevent any teammates from being able to follow up on Wukong. Um, and Veigar are really a champion. I feel like you don't see too much in the server, so kind of excited to see how Sandy's able to pilot that.
Yeah, and it looks like we are gonna be getting into. Oh, it looks like they will just be there. Like we're slowly but surely gonna be getting into draft. I'm not sure what's going on. I think the lobby's not working correctly.
Ah,
So it looks like there was a decline, but the game. Okay, this is gonna take a moment, but yeah, I mean,
no worries.
uh, so I mean, I think that yeah, Vitas, like I think you're so happy, like if you're Vitas, like it's just such like a, it's such just like I think it's just such an easy game to play, and you're on like your most comfortable champion, like how can this
Yep.
like really go wrong? Um, like the only I mean the only like way like he ever really dies if like Wukong just gets a free engage on him and like no one like helps him. It's like realistically like how
But like even if Wukong does, if your Renata's right there, I mean the peel is just going to be absurd. Jacob is going to have to play an extremely clean game on this Wukong, in my opinion, to give his team a chance. Is going to have to really pick good times to engage, because if you go in at an inopportune time, you're not getting out. You're not getting away from Renata and from Vagar. So you're gonna have to be really positive when he chooses to go in that it's the right timing. Do we know if it's Malachi top or Trundle top?
I believe that is a I'm not quite sure. Um I believe
Either
that
way, I
is
think both are going to struggle. But
yeah, I do think that that is I think it is Maokai top and yeah, I think that it is going to be quite difficult if you are like
I
Maokai
think
and
that there
Gangplank.
is a way. I assume there is a way to use the Malachi W to dodge a Gangplank barrel. I don't know how easily that is to pull off or not, but maybe there's an angle there. But I see it being he's going to take some punishment in this lane phase and probably fall down in CS, similar to we saw last game. But hey, at the same time, was getting really bullied in the 1v1, ended up not mattering whatsoever. And just like Galio, Malachi Top's the same kind of champion that even if your 1v1's not going well, just show up in team fights, put some good roots down with your ultimate and with your W, and your team will still be very happy with whatever contribution you're able to provide.
Yeah, it is definitely I mean, Maokai like you are like I mean the top side of this map I think does like suffer a bit. But I don't see like how like fights are like really that like playable. Um, yeah, so far, I mean, like I think you're just gonna be like just really happy with like a Maokai ult, just rooting everyone, and then like you're just like very free to play, like with your carries.
Yeah, I think your best angle if you are meta busters is going to be getting to objectives first because neither team has a super good engage. I mean, Malachi can be very threatening in that regard, but I think if you can potentially get to objectives first, play in fog of war, make it difficult for the SR comp to walk forward. If you're walking into fog of war, you could very easily get chunked out by something like a gangplank barrel combo or a Victor, death ray from fog. So maybe that's your best angle, but I just it's going to be a high level of execution for them to pull this off.
Yeah. And this, yeah, the unfortunately we are. I will say we are having some lobby issues, so bear with us for a moment. As yeah, looks like I have to take a moment. Okay. All right. Okay. I think we are starting. Okay, they're starting it. They're starting it. Oh my goodness, that was quite. It was like a misadventure happening in the lobby.
They're building the anticipation
Yeah,
for
building
this
the
game three,
anticipation.
and
Oh my
again,
goodness.
first game 3 of the season.
Yeah, I will say. I think, man, I think that I'm just like trying to like think of like how you like really like play this, because like say like you like engage onto like you somehow do get like a decent engage onto Zeri. Like, oh man, I think it really is all it is. It is just kill the Zeri. I mean, that's all there is really is left to it. You just have to try to kill the Zeri.
Yep.
Because if the Zeri dies, I actually don't think there's like any way of like they're just not gonna have enough DPS to like deal with like the rest of the team. Especially when there's like a Victor and GP just breathing down your neck.
Yeah, I do think it's actually kind of a hard game for Trundle to play. Like, Trundle's happy against the Wukong in isolation, I think, but all the other champions have a very easy job of kind of kiting Trundle out, I think. So yeah, if Zeri's ever killed, there's a lot of pressure on Veigar, and I don't know if he has the DPS to match the carries on the other side.
Looks like we will be getting into game shortly, and it looks like finally being a spectator in the lobby has worked, so there's a bright spot. And we zoom out a bit, as looks like that we are in game.
Welcome to Summoner's
Excellent.
Rift.
And so,
Minions have spawned.
funny banter happening there in chat. And I think that for this GP pick specifically, I do think that actually this is the one thing that can be the wild card, because GP is just really, really good at just killing frontline, and also like just getting like hit with like a random barrel can just bring you down to like chunk you so hard that like you're just not even able to continue in the fight. So Maybe like Snow can work a miracle here, but it is yet to be seen.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, you know, what is Zeri's weakness? I mean, she doesn't have quite the highest range for an AD carry, so kind of going to be forced to play into Gangplank's range to kind of walk through a team fight. So, you know, maybe some well-timed barrels can make the difference.
Oh, and it looks like.
Would you mind pulling up the scoreboard here?
Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, like, it looks like already some really good trades coming out on the side of Snow. And,
yeah, and Kage going for the aftershock as opposed to like grasp as well. So really just playing to showing up in skirmishes, team fights, and kind of being a front line.
Seems like more and more in this game that are not quite on the way. Oh, Q does connect. I think Kathy's just dead. Wow, and there's just gonna be first blood right over to Lelouch. Great Q.
That's not good if you're the side of Meta Busters.
Yeah, I mean, Kathy doesn't burn heal, doesn't burn flash. I think you have to like respect that. Like you can't just get hit by the raw Renata Q like that with the Zeri right next to her.
That's super good play out of Lelouch. I mean, back-to-back handshakes just takes Kathy out, and if you know you are Meta Busters, at least the kill didn't go on to Zeri, but that's not the start you wanted.
No, not at all. I think that it's like you drafted LeJon actually to have some safety and comfort in this lane, but that's not the case. Like if you're just gonna be dying.
You know, Renata, one of those enchanters that just kind of has a little bit more playmaking than some of the others, and just Lelouch using it very well there.
Yeah. It's like a gank coming here on the Fuji. He just walks into the Vanguard gate, so he's going to get stunned up. The killer's going to slow him down as well. I mean, Jacob is here to
trying
cover,
to hold his flash, but at that point,
flash, and it looks like Hero might get traded back here, and he does. I actually think that you're actually okay with that if you're the side of Meta Busters. I mean, yeah, you burn flash, but Trundle burns flash as well, and not only that, but you do have TP to get right back to lane.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fusion didn't want to use his flash, but you know, the amount of time that he held it allowed Hero to do so much damage that when he did eventually flash, it still resulted in his death. And I think you're right, you do get the kill back. What's going to be concerning, though, Fusion's going to have to play really carefully until the flash comes back up, because the next time you get put in that Vanguard cage, you're probably just dead.
Yeah. Snow, a bit more and more aggressive. And Barrel damage is stacking up, and he's just going to keep continuing just to get more and more gold. I feel like he's gotten so much money from that first strike already.
Yeah, that's the Cole as well.
Yeah.
You're putting all your eggs in the gameplay basket here, I think, kind of as your X factor, but it's on the rest of the team.
Yeah, and
kind of holding on enough for that to matter.
I might be mistaken, but I believe that Future also appears to have a Cole as well. As I'm not quite sure.
So does Jinx.
Yeah, so it looks like we have 4 calls in the game, so everyone is being a bit greedy today. So, it does happen. Oh, Stun's actually going to connect here, as it's going to use the W. Slow should be able to get him away. As, he does get hit by the tail end of that Q. So, not looking so easy. Future gonna get.
Ooh.
I think the ultimate's just gonna be it. Yeah, and he's gonna be gone. Primordial Burst is gonna take him down, and that's gonna be a kill going on to go over onto Sandy. As it looks like Peter's just dashes in, but I'm not sure if he really wanted to do that. As in comes Jacob, but Renata is here.
Okay, play gold.
Is gonna flash away. GP ult does get burned, but you only do get the Renata's flash, and you might have hoped for a bit more there. Especially after, the Zeri did just dash over the wall crazily there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge solo kill for Sandy, just playing that matchup really well. Now that Future doesn't have flash, like we were just saying, very vulnerable, and I wasn't expecting it to be a solo kill. I figured it'd be a re-gank that might actually be able to kill him, but just Sandy played that so well and just took him down. And Hoosier's really going to need, I think, get some Mercury Treads pretty quickly to help him out.
He's going to pop the Elixir, of course, here. Looks like he might be going for something here. It does burn the Arcane Storm as well, but he's not going to be really getting anything off the back of that.
Yeah, and the cage just allowing Sandy to walk out, not even having to use his flash.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna just check the gold here. I mean, like, Snow's already just a humble just 1k up against his opponent, and it's only 6 minutes in.
Alright, 40 farm lead.
Yeah. Looks like I can position it for something here. Maybe Kage can beat it. Looks like it's not gonna end up even going for anything. But wait, Snow is going for a ward in the top side. Oh no, the Nature's Grasp is gonna get burned, but Snow was just way too far away and just walks out of the range of it. As a handshake is not gonna miss, but W does connect. That's gonna be shield. That damage is gonna be negated by the Janna shield, so not really much happening down there. Looks like he still might be positioning for.
Curious to see what. Ooh, that's big damage.
No, he's putting more and more pressure on him. Kage getting a bit low here.
I'm interested to see what build Sandy's going for here as well. Has the Codex and the Alternator.
Yeah. Should be interesting to see what he does go for. I mean, I think, I don't know, this game's looking like a repeat of last game almost, in a way, in the early stages at least. Like, Snarkify, it's like Balling is just getting ahead, and like, even though the tops, like, the top side is losing, like, Kage hasn't, like, he hasn't died yet, which is, pretty big, honestly, for this matchup. Because it is really hard to, like, stay alive, and Sandy just hit 2 Qs in a row.
Hoosier's in trouble and just dying
coming
here.
in, just flash Q, ultimate, he's gone. Just get solo killed.
The tiny man in the mid lane making big plays on the Veigar.
Yeah.
And that's getting a little dire there in that matchup. I mean, Hoosier's at least farming well enough. I mean, still has 80 farm, so you are hanging close there, but Veigar's getting scary.
Like Lelouch is actually going to get hit by the traps here. Also gets knocked up by the John Tornado.
That flash!
But she is going to hit the, she's going to, like, start the hostile takeover. It does connect as it looks like they're going to flash right here onto Staub, but a really great John Tornado actually to disengage it. And Tuna's still, like, going for some autos there at the end, but really good, well played. I mean, I think the really important part of that was actually the Jinx Zap actually landing onto Lelouch right as the hostile takeover hit, which, like, kept it slow and let them follow her.
Yeah, really nice find there. Lelouch just aggressively positioning without the flash there, gets caught out, and you definitely needed that if you were the side of Metabusters. Jinx gets a much-needed kill to even up that gold a little bit. And Sandy actually going for Rocket Belt again, so big fan of that item. Has it on the Veigar here. That's going to be so scary for Hoosier, just the way the Veigar can close that little extra distance to get a cage around you. But maybe, Sandy did flash aggressively to find that solo kill. Perhaps you have an angle to try to shut the Veigar down before that flash comes back up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Sandy just really loves Proto Belt, so he's just going to be opting into another Proto Belt this game. I'm curious to see how this does end up going. I mean, I don't think it's that bad on Veigar. Veigar with a dash does seem, actually does have some utility.
Veigar likes health. Veigar likes ability haste, and it's not the most expensive first item, so yeah, I like it. kind of replacing where you'd normally maybe go for, if you wanted another health item, to go for something like Rod of Ages, but that plus the tier item is almost too much scaling on it sometimes. So really strong one item spike here. Looking
like
super
they are
scary.
moving into
They're wrapping the lane.
Yeah, they're wrapping here. Looking at something. Let's get spotted out by the control ward though. Yeah, it's like no play there.
I mean, Sandy is, or I'll say, excuse me, Snow has doubled up Kage's CS, but as you've already pointed out, Kage doing a nice job of not actually ever dying, and just kind of continuing to bide his time on the Maokai.
Yeah, he's just continuing to bide his time as they are just going to be taking away Jacob's blue buff. That is a bit frustrating, and he doesn't really have anything left to do at the moment. And it looks like that so far, like, he's getting ahead of Thompson. He's gonna continue.
Oh, look at Matt though.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they can just follow up. But yeah, it looks like they however, the ball lane is coming up here top side.
Venus is here.
Is Snow going to be in trouble here? It looks like maybe he will be, as it looks like they are just going to be pursuing him for a while. And yeah, he's going to be going down, and not really expecting just the rotation up there from like the top, from the bot lane. As
yeah, what an interesting rotation. Took him completely off guard. Took me off guard.
Yeah. Down. You know, you would think like if you're Snow, like, you know, like, I mean, or you even just like decide like meta busters you're their bot lane. I'm not sure if you'd ever like even call like your, you know, your opponent like your bot lane missing there.
Yeah, I think you probably called them that they backed, and then you were expecting them to show back up in the lane, and instead they show top. I mean, that's just interesting decision to kind of switch and get Kage out of that matchup.
And it looks honestly pretty good that he's out of that matchup. I mean, he's not really taking that much damage here from the Jinx. This one Elixir Force, however, it looks like they might just get rid of that here. Nature Grass comes out, the Pillar connect, and the Janna ult is good, and the heal comes out as well, but I'm not sure if they can really get away here. I think the Pillar might be coming up soon. Let's see if Hero can land it. But it looks like now the Pillar doesn't come up in time, so they're just going to be able to get out of that.
Good peel by Kathy there. Used the ultimate and then kind of just showed her Janna mastery, positioned to the side there, and made sure she hit both players with the tornado.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's some of that, like, you know, TP, even though, like, you know, he did fall down, he still does have, you know, 140 CS and a lot of gold from first strike in his passive. So definitely getting stronger this game.
Yeah, we'll see how this continued lane swap is able to play out. May have a pick here, but Sandy's here.
Yeah, Sandy has arrived, and how comes the cage? He actually gets a double stun from it. It looks like Jacob's going to get taken down, but the GPL comes out, and the Arcane Storm gets burned. Kage going to get burned to crisp, as nothing else really happening. And it looks like
Snow's going to have to give up turret though.
On this turret, the tornado misses, the rocket misses, but the tornado does connect. And it looks like they will get a bot lane turn in response, as both sides of the map trading relatively evenly. And I'm not sure if they know about this barrel point out here. Oh, ultimate gonna get burned, but it doesn't look like nothing's gonna come from it. And Snow continuing to fish for these barrels.
I mean, I think overall though, I think MetaBusters is pretty happy with how all that played out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to gain the Dragon on the back end of all of it. So yeah, I think that they're very happy with the MetaBusters with the these events.
You do maybe get the Rift Herald here if you're SR. But yeah, really just shifted their power on the map to the top side when they chose to put their bot lane up there. And, you know, MetaBusters did a good job counter-punching back. Looks like they're going to send Gangplank bottom now to get back into the matchup with the Maokai. It did just complete the Infinity Edge. Watch out for the damage on these next few Gangplank crits.
Really good damage going out there from Sandy. And like, I was just, you know, QW and he took like half of Slav's health. And it looks like they might be going for more damage here onto the turrets. And interesting choice to try to go for that here. I'm not sure if he wanted to do that, but Cappy does get taken out on the backside of it. And Jacob doesn't have his ultimate, but he flashes into the Nature's Grasp. He's still trying to go for the Sandy, but he's not going to get it. He's just going to get picked up. And oh no, Staub's going to get picked up on the backside of it as well. It is just not looking good at all. And it looks like that Snow might just be next on the list. I mean, he can't really do nothing at all. The Lightning Crash comes out and he goes down. Wow, it's just...
Game's starting to kind of blow open in SR's favor again. Super close, but I mean, Sandy's just going huge on the Veigar right now.
Yeah, I think that they went really hard on the Veigar, but I don't think there was ever like a kill on him. I wonder if...
I mean, Jacob didn't have ultimate. Yeah. I think if Wukong had ultimate, maybe that play looks a little bit better for you, but without the ultimate, there's just not enough thread. I mean, you can't... The solo dive without the ultimate's never going to be enough to get Veigar there. And, you know, that's before Veigar's even completed his Archangel staff. Once he has that come through, that shield he gains is going to make him even harder to take down. And I mean, as strong as Vetus is right now, Sandy's kind of just a raid boss on this map.
Sandy might be looking at something else here. As Fuja does walk into the cage and gets hit by the W, but notably doesn't get hit by the Q. Or the Bayful Strike, as you call it.
You know your Veigar terminology. I like it.
You know it.
Yeah, and it's so hard to threaten either of the backline carries on the side of SR. And with the leads that they've generated, it's just going to be really hard to take them down. You know, I still think there is big damage on the side of Metabusters if they can find the favorable fight. It's just going to be hard to find it. Oh, you saw the
Fuja's going to cage up, he's going to have to flash out.
Yeah, you see the rocket belt there. Dashes into range so quickly that Fuja's caught off guard with how fast the cage comes around him.
Yeah, and I think that what we talked about, prior to this game, is or post the draft, I guess, is just there really just feels like there's just no threat at all, from the side of Metabusters.
Oh, Jacob's on a ward here.
Yeah, I'm not sure he knows that. He's just gonna get stunned
Killed
up,
the cage.
and it looks like he's just completely just deleted. And man, the subjugate plus the primordial burst, he just doesn't even have any resistances left to do anything.
Yeah, caught on a ward here and just dies. And interestingly enough, no one on the side of Metabusters has even opted to go for the Mercury Treads. So Veigar's just living large this game. Any CC that hits is going to last for quite a long time. Hero also having an extremely good game as well. I mean, I think the first two a little bit rougher than maybe you expect from him, and I think this third game's just been great. Because you got to remember, Sandy is going huge this game. It was set up by that initial gank in which they killed Fuja and took his flash, and then Sandy just took that advantage the Hero gave him, and it's just absolutely tore the game open.
Yeah, I think that just completely blew the game wide open. This pig card being as strong as Fuja doing a good job of not walking into any parts of the cage, but he can't really chase a Veigar who's still has his Archangels shield up.
Yeah, it did sidestep the W that time, which, the Veigar W can sometimes be hard to hit if you're not getting them in the stun. But yeah, I don't know if there's much of a chase down angle.
Looks like they are just have so much bot control.
Snow has completed on his way to a last Whisper item, so maybe once that armor pin comes in, maybe he can start trying to look to do a little more, but I don't know, it's just hard to even find a setup for him.
I mean, they aren't down that much gold, which is the good news. And
yeah, but I'm afraid if you press A, how much of it's on the Maokai matchup alone, though? I mean,
yeah, I mean the
4K,
the gank might have over 10k gold.
I don't think the gold lead's telling the whole story.
Yeah, but so does. But Vetus also has 10k gold. Is the only issue at hand.
Yeah.
So it looks like they might just be positioning for a Baron here. I think if they started, I'm not sure if Meta Buster, I mean, Meta Buster's just gonna be like, are you just gonna give it? I mean,
I think maybe you should try to contest. I don't know if you're going to get much better opportunities, but they're killing it so fast.
Yeah, this, I think that they just didn't have any.
Hey, Jacob won't even get there in time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's really anything to do here. I mean, Fruit just is walking into his demise. Lightning Crash comes out and he goes down. I mean, there's just no really contest. Jacob was just on the wrong side of the map. I'm not quite sure why he was walking bot lane. There wasn't really anything there like to take. There wasn't any camps. There wasn't like, you know, like the Maokai wasn't pushed up. And now it looks like they might just like take like the entire base. It looks like they are gonna flash. Let's do a little bit of flash. Flashes are gonna be traded from both junglers. And nothing going on yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is, even though your game plank is so strong, as we talked about earlier, you know, their best advantage was going to be if they could, like, get to an area first, set up an objective first. You're constantly on your back foot at this point of the game when you're this far behind, so I don't think it's really easy for Gangplank to ever find an angle to use his gold.
Yeah, I think the whole, like, point of it is that, like, you, like, remain, like, relatively strong, like, going up into the early Drakes, and then you like use like your control and priority to like set up some like GP barrels. It's like out of fog. And Jacob has been going good. Yeah, nice forward knock. The Lightning Crash comes down, and the hostile takeover comes out. I mean, Starve just kills his teammate basically as like the Arcane Storm goes out. But Snow has arrived to the battle, and maybe they do pick up hero here. It looks like yes, they do get shot in the face as
shut down.
Not bad, honestly. I mean, they do get the shutdown, but they do just lose 3. And
he has Flash here, and ult's coming up. Can he chase this?
Ult does come up. He does have Flash. I don't think he really can. I think that just the Vandal pipes for not, you know, this area, like, just with her dash as well. It's just a bit too hard to chase.
Yeah, I mean, you saw a pretty nice cyclone that time by Jacob, but
Lelouch's just gone.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just walk up to a GP who can just Q auto you like that. He'll just kill you. And maybe he gets pursued here.
Here comes Sandy.
Sandy.
Oh!
I mean,
it's close.
I think that Snow might be going down shortly. But he is getting chased, and in comes. With the Zeri Q takes.
You gotta be careful.
Destroys the barrel. Oh no! Snow's gonna get taken down. And here there comes the alt chat, not very happy about the barrel's a leader. And yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean the Zeri can delete the barrels pretty easily. Also has the ability to hit him over the wall there, and Snow doing his best, but I'm afraid the game might just be a little bit out of hand.
Completely just way too hard to play. As Nature Grass comes out.
Wukong's gone.
In, and John all gets burned, but it doesn't even save anyone. Stomp still goes down. And they're just going to continue to push.
Maybe able to look for the end here. Kage has TP if he wants to come back, but it looks like they are going to play it safe and back off.
Yeah, it looks like they will just back off. But I wonder at this point in the game, like how he you do want to end up like positioning him, like in these team fights as Meta Busters, because I don't really think he can like position correctly. I think that if they just drop Maokai ult, like you just have to like run for the hills. And you know, like we said earlier, like maybe like they'd have DPS issues from the Vanguard, but I think the Vanguard is proving that narrative to be quite not correct.
Yeah, not when he has this type of lead. I mean, he is just destroying them.
Yeah.
Has the death cap already. Can you click on him? I'm curious how much AP he has from passive as well.
Let's see. I think it looks like he has 8. He also has 900 AP. So
sheesh.
Yeah, it's only gonna
he's
climb
hurting
more and more. And you know, Snow does have like almost full build, but I'm not sure if it really means anything as it's like his third Drake just taken over. Rocket comes in, but
close.
Nothing really to be done there, especially when you do have a 1400 smite nowadays.
I mean, Snow's reaching the point where a crit barrel may one-shot any of the carries, but it's so hard to actually find that combo. If Snow's able to carry this game, it'll be one of the craziest feats I've ever seen.
Most definitely.
Maybe you can find a combo.
And, oh, and a big barrel coming out. I mean, that's the barrel you talked about. A completely half health. Jacob's going in on the engage. Subjugate comes down. Primordial Burst doesn't take the kill. Maybe Snow can take him down. Oh, but he gets clipped by the hostile takeover. Doesn't auto any of his teammates. Sandy going in. Lightning Crash comes down from Venus, and Fuji's going to get caught up in the storm of it as another barrel comes in, almost takes him down. He's on the precipice of his damage. And it's so close every time. But I do think that the barrels might have to force them actually to think twice about trying to end this game. And they are pinging the Baron, so it might just be a Baron angle. As you know, the good thing is they didn't get triple inhibs, but they did lose 3 members.
That was such a good hostile takeover by Lelouch there. I mean, that saved that fight. If that did not clip Snow, he was about to kill Veigar, and the potential you could try to run through the fight, that hostile takeover hit just about everybody.
Yeah, that hostile takeover was extremely well aimed and well timed.
But you see the gameplay damage. I mean, that was so close to just multiple members dying.
Looks like they might be looking for a fight here. Kathy gonna get engaged on immediately with the handshake. And it looks like Snow's gonna get covered in huge damage. Almost one-shots Venus, but it's just not enough. As, man, oh man, Snarkify Rebellion is just tearing up this rift. It's like Stav is still alive, but that hostile takeover might clip him. And he's just gonna be killing the wave, but I don't think there's not much really he can do here. Fuji, the last one standing. And you may have seen it in the movies.
I mean, yeah.
The Empire strikes back, but the Rebellion wins in the end. As it looks like Fuji's going to be going down here next. As it looks like he might just live, and it looks like the game will just come to a close.
Wow, I mean, you saw the angle there. Like the gameplay was doing damage, but you're just a little too far behind. I mean, the rest of the map just could not hold on long enough for Gangplank to make that impact, and just overall, an insanely impressive last 2 games for SR to bounce back after what was a really impressive game 1 for Metabusters. And as I look at this game 3, tell me if you disagree, but to me, I think the MVP here has probably just got to go to our man in the mid lane.
Yeah,
Sandy the Veigar was awesome.
Sandy played exceptional in this game 3. I think that the Veigar just had so much pressure and just made the game just so easy for his teammates to play. Really well played from Sandy this game. And I mean, and that should be it. I mean, we should probably do a post-game interview. I mean, like, is there anyone in particular you'd like to grab? Okay. Let me see this. Oh. Hold on one second. All right, I think we will go ahead. Wait, hello? Hold on. Oh. Give me one moment. It appears that Discord is being a bit weird. Hold on.
The next scheduled match is actually going to be Metabusters, so
Yeah.
we'll see Metabusters in 2 days on Thursday going up against Rift Sharks, who had a really good first week. So not going to be an easy one, but they'll have the opportunity to kind of bounce back from this one pretty quickly here.
Yeah, and sorry about that, but like we weren't able to get any of that group because of the Discord kind of just crashed on my end. So sorry if you did. Sorry about that. But is there anyone you want to get for an interview? Do you think? I mean,
I'd be open to talking to anybody if somebody wants to hop in here.
I think that we should probably. I think we should grab Vetus.
Yeah, let's get the captain in here.
Let me see if we can get him in here and just ask him about things.
Okay. May need to drop to his channel. I'm not sure if we have the ability to drag him up here.
We might have to drop to his channel. We'll see here.
Although I think that channel was...
Or...
Maybe he needs to go to lobby, if possible.
Yeah. We would want to fit people in. All right.
See if Vetus can hop up a channel here and then get to ask the captain a few questions. Vetus, hello.
Hello. Congratulations on the victory. It was a really hard fought one. That game one, I don't think that things really turned out how you guys I guess planned it.
Yeah. A couple of things went wrong game one. I think we outdrafted ourselves, honestly, with the Malphite Silas stuff. We were going back and forth.
I did kind of see the idea though. There was there was an attempt to try to just maybe keep the Malphite away from the Silas, but it kind of did get hard, especially towards the mid to late game where you'd really just want the Malphite ult.
Yeah, we did have a plan, but it kind of went to shambles pretty early. And we just reset for game 2 after that.
What do you feel like was the biggest change for your team going into game 2? What did you identify from game 1 that you tried to fix, and clearly it worked?
I think we just wanted to draft something pretty straightforward. We had Jarvan Galio, and then I just played Yunara, who's the best champ on the patch, and things happened. We just played well. We slowed it down early game. We just know we scale, communicated better.
Yeah, we got to see, at least what I consider, maybe your two best champions, at least from the games I've seen, both last season and this season. Were you surprised that you kind of got to go back-to-back Yunara into Zeri?
To be honest, yes. But also, that's why I picked up Sandy. My boys pulling bans, heroes pulling bans. They have to be scared of something.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
And in that game 3, we noticed that you guys actually had a rotation to the top side. Which ended up actually netting you an early kill onto the Gangplank. What was I guess how far ahead did you prep that? Was that just you guys reset and you're you know what, let's just go top here? How did you plan that out?
We decided probably a minute or two before. We realized Maokai against Gangplank. Gangplank's just gonna free farm forever, and if I go up there as Zeri, I kind of delete barrels and make it harder for him to just free scale.
And I guess that when he did get the kill onto the Maokai, he was being a bit greedy going for those plates, and I guess you did just show up to just get an easy kill onto him.
Yeah, I will say the Maokai kill shouldn't have happened. We were all calling Maokai to recall, but he was really close to his quest. I think he wanted to get that done, but yeah, a little bit of a misstep.
And so, do you have any other things that I guess you think that next week, you'll be going against, a different team. And so, do you know the team at all, or?
I think we have a bye next week, actually.
Or no, I'm sorry. Yes, you do have a bye next week. But the week after, how do you feel you're gonna prep for that? Or how are you gonna take this? How are you gonna take this bye? How are you gonna take this bye to prep? Do you think?
Oh, we're just gonna probably practice some more synergy. Work on some picks. Nothing too crazy.
Is there any team you're most excited to eventually play against?
There are two, yeah, QC and Rift Sharks for sure.
Okay.
Okay. And well, I guess there you have it.
No
Yep,
spoilers, but
congratulations.
we've been playing pretty well. In
Congratulations.
Scrims. That's all I'll say.
And
Thank
I
you.
think that we're going to be wrapping up there. So thank you all for tuning in. It was a pleasure to cast this game.
Thanks for the
Thank you
cast.
to Brewer for showing up for the game too. Made my life a lot easier. And so we'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Peace.
Have a good night.